Hello, I'm Charles Gross.
And I'm Leslie Hoban Blake, and we're standing in the lobby of St. Peter's Church, where the York Company has just done its middle musicals in Mufti for this year, which is called
The Day Before Spring, and this is Two on the Aisle, First Impressions. Now, I thought I had heard of every Lerner Loewe musical, but this is one that I think opened on Broadway in 1945. It had a revival here at the York, but now they unearthed the entire score, and so you get a much fuller version of it.
Well, not only that, it had a what is considered a decent run in 1945, but Charles Wright, who wrote the liner notes, makes a point about the fact that it might have been too soon after the war, since it's a story about basically wife swapping and
Well, no.
well,
It's
romantic love, and do you stay with your husband of 10 years, or do you run after the man whom you dumped at the time? And
Well, that's a little different than wife swapping. No one's swapping here. Also, there are innuendos and a few lyrics that were surprisingly risque for the time.
and a hark back to a number from Gigi, or a hark forward.
Well, there is a musical sequence in there that would find its way into Gigi. Yes,
Right, with the same kind of spoken word, Songsprech, as they say, spoken word, and musical tempo. I was funny. I was going like, I know this song.
you do indeed. Different lyrics,
Right.
But it's part of another song. But at any rate, this is an interesting show. The spotlight to me was the two leading actresses. First of all, Madison Claire Parks as the wife. She is beautiful. She has such a pristine voice. I would love to see her in a production of Wonderful Town as Eileen.
When I said to her, my partner thinks you should be in My Sister Eileen, she said, that's funny because my grandmother was Betty Garrett. So, and that was really an interesting thing. She looks like Grace Kelly. She has that unbelievable porcelain kind of beauty that you don't see very often.
And this beautiful,
voice, yes,
beautiful
voice.
soprano voice. And there was
Kelly
one more
O'Hara, look out, because there's somebody hot on your trail.
and one other nice lady.
Yes, well,
Very talented lady.
Alice Allen Lewis, who normally would be the leading lady in a play and was the leading lady here
When they did
in
Subways Are for
Sleeping, now becomes the comic lead and second lead, and does a brilliant job. And I spoke to her afterwards, and she said she wanted to be a comedian, and pretty girls always want to be comedians or do the character roles.
Well, she has this one number. She stops the show, and she has this great hat that she's wearing, which she actually got on her honeymoon.
Well, and the honeymoon is when we were here. We spoke to her and her husband, who is now the star of King Kong.
No,
the
he's not the ape. He's not the ape.
monkey. Or somebody said, I thought he played the monkey. The very handsome leading man of King Kong. So things do happen at the York. People move on and do wonderful things.
But getting back to the play,
Yes.
I found the plot could be a little contrived, a little too pat, and you kind of scratching your head. Oh, really? At times. But it was just so wonderful to see this unearthed and to hear another a Lerner Loewe score that I didn't even know existed. Right. We're hoping they will record it. Stephen Sondheim, who actually saw the original production, wants to be the first person to get
the CD if
the
they
CD.
make it.
I want to be the second.
Right. We just hit if they make it is the issue. And we're going to ask the producer and the director, Mark Aceto, who didn't just direct it but also adapted it into this version. We're going to ask them to come on the show. So we're hoping that you'll get to see them as well.
Right. And that is our very long first impression. I'm Charles Gross.
Well, it's also going to be our review because we won't be reviewing it on the show. And I'm Leslie Hoban Blake.
And this is First Impressions.